Heyo people! In my last video you would have seen me unbox the 15 puzzles that I'm about to solve on camera, and I did say I would make this video, so this video is going to be me going through a walkthrough solve and really also kind of a review of all of these puzzles. I'm also going to try to make this one quick. So, just a quick disclaimer, some of these I was able to figure out on my own, some of them I kind of had to look up a tutorial. One of them is going to be a pain for me to do. But all of these I can do, so all of these I will be able to do in this video. There are probably going to be some parts that I'm going to have to cut out. So I will be going in the same order as I went in my last video, so I'll be starting with the Dino Cube and ending with the Scoob Mixup 3. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm in a bit of a rush to get this video started, or done, whatever. But anyway, I'm going to start now. So with the Dino Cube, what you want to do is you want to kind of start with an easy layer, like a white layer, and then afterwards you kind of just permeate the middle layer like this. The middle layer is very intuitive. You can just put these in. It's much easier than the Ready Cube because you don't have corners to worry about. And there you go, middle layer's done. And then one last sledgehammer move, and then the Dino Cube is now solved. Next up, the mini gear keychain. So, actually got a pretty lucky scramble. The corners are solvable in only 3 moves, so it helps. This camera is threatening to fall. And then you want to do this. So with any gear cube, you want to solve the corners first, and then you want to start solving the edges. So this is kind of a way to look at that. We got lucky and we didn't have to do the edge flip. So that's that. Next up is the sandwich gear cube. So this is actually a little bit trickier than I thought it was going to be, and I can pretty much go ahead and explain why. So like this face has to have both logos facing up. If the logos aren't facing up, then that means this yellow layer will be unsolved, but the yellow layer is solved, so oh no, lockup. Yeah, lockups do kind of happen. Kind of hard to get out of these. Oh no. Okay, I got it. Oh no, one of the gears skipped. Not again. Yeah. I mean, compared to the rest of the GU puzzles, the sandwich cube tends to lock up pretty easily, but that is the sandwich cube done. It's a little bit easier since you don't have to do the edge flip. Now moving on to one of the harder puzzles I have in this unboxing, the Crazy Gear Cube. So with the Crazy Gear Cube, you kind of want to find a pair like this. Sometimes there will be pairs already matched up. And then what you want to do with those pairs is you want to find the other pairs, and sometimes you need to kind of spin some things around. So then you want to kind of solve the edges as normal, and there's the extra step in this one with the center orientation, which is something I had to learn from the tutorial, and I did that, so I at least know how to do this. This one I would consider to be pretty fun. I haven't really been talking about the Dino Cube or the Keychain Gear Cube. Those two are also very fun, though I think this one is probably the most fun gear cube I have in my collection. I mean, I liked the gear pyramids because I don't have anything like that besides the gear Scoob, but with this one, I actually have to worry about center orientation, and I've never had to deal with that before. So now we gotta flip these edges since we did not get as lucky as we did with the mini gear. And see, we got 4 centers out of place, so I have to do this algorithm. This is actually one of the more favorable cases in this Oh no, I think I might have messed it up. Oh no, I didn't. This is actually the more favorable case, one of the more favorable cases. Of course, other favorable cases having all of them flipped, because that one is the easiest to do. Having 2 of them flipped is not really what you want to do. Alright, citrus fruit sign. So this one is basically just a regular 3x3, so I could use CFOP if I really wanted to, but about a week after I opened it, before I started editing my last video, which you would have seen by now if you're watching this, I started noticing caps started falling off of this one, so if a cap does fall off, it's okay, I can just put it back on. But yeah, I mean, I gotta be prepared for that. There's probably going to be something falling off of this puzzle here. Shoot. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through with beginner's method. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. Alright, now we got L case. I did see one of the caps started coming off there. This is usually where the caps really start falling. Looks like we got a T-perm. I was actually very lucky. We got a perfect T-perm. Still don't know full peel off. That's that. And then next up is this guy, I believe. So in my last video, I didn't notice until I edited, but I did make the mistake of like leaving this blue one solved. But I actually have practiced speed solving this, and this one actually is pretty fun. I'm going to do this one as fast as I can. I think I could get it within 20 seconds, so apologize for all the clicking. Oh, well that's it. That took only about 15 seconds, which pretty happy. I'm actually very happy with this puzzle. It's definitely something new that I didn't really get to try before. And of course, on the topic of something new, we of course had these sliding puzzles, which the sliding puzzles were actually a little bit more difficult than I thought they would be. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this started, because these can actually take quite a while to solve if you let them. So I've got my red and orange layers done. Now it's time to move on to yellow. Going like that. Alright, yellow is done. Now I can move on to the light green, or the lime green, or whatever. And that also solved the dark green as well. It's awesome. Blue is solved, and then purple and pink will get solved at the same time. So that's the 5 done. Moving on to the, or not the 5, the 3. This is the 5. So now we're moving on to this. And the 5 is where I actually learned a lot of the techniques for solving these like larger sliding puzzles. So red is done. Okay. Blue is done. I remember the first time solving the 3-layer, I actually had a lot of troubles with these like last couple of layers for some reason. But I've gotten much better at knowing what to do here. Shoot. Alright, and then I can do this. Alright, 5 layers done. Let's move on to the 7 layer. This is going to take me a little bit longer to do, so I'm going to go ahead and speed up a little bit, or maybe just cut to the end. So, yeah, I really scrambled this guy. And it goes there. Alright, now I got it. 7 layer is done. Alright, and then I did this one, Magic Eye. So this one is going to be much quicker than the 7 layer, especially since I can just attempt Ortega and probably mess up. Okay, so we got a bar there. Shoot. I forgot all of the Ortega algorithms. I'll just do that. And they're going to be in the same state. Goodness. There we go. And no bar here, so... And that's that finished. Next up, Clover Pyramids. So, this one I actually believe is one of my favorite puzzles. The sliding puzzles I do like as well, just because it was a completely new type of puzzle for me. I didn't own anything like that. At least, not much of anything like that. So, and then the Magic Eye, I actually literally have 0 2x2s. There's 2x2 speed shape mods in my collection of speed mods. Jeez. Sometimes I butcher what I'm trying to say. But yeah, the Magic Eye 2x2, first off, I don't, like I said, I only have one Yushin puzzle. I know Yushin is like a flagship speed cubing brand, but I just don't own any of their speed cubes. I don't know why, I just don't own them. Alright, so that's our cross, because this is a 3x3. The red corner is actually kind of hidden under there, but we got it out. And then I need another, need another one of these bigger corners here, because the yellow corner was hiding. And now that's basically our first layer done, so we can go ahead and do our second layer. I'm just going to go ahead and insert them like that, because I still have not learned any fancy techniques, so... Yellow is in, this green is already in, I can put the red in. This one is actually a lot of fun to solve. It's super confusing if you don't know what it is, but when you do know what it is, it's so fun. Especially since I actually learned that Sun was a thing that you could use for Master Morphix type solves. Shoot, I messed up. Oh no, I didn't. So now I kind of have a 3-cycle. I know it looked like only 2 pieces needed to be switched, but you can easily get away with 3 cycles, and the Clover Pyramids is done. Now onto the Star Barrel. We only have 4 puzzles left, and it actually hasn't been that long. I spent so far less time solving these puzzles than I did talking about them. Okay, so that one goes like that. Alright, so now we got the color scheme right. The middle color scheme you kind of have to get. I mean, technically I wouldn't say there's no right or wrong color scheme for the middle, but me personally, I like to keep it like similar to what they had on the box. Okay, So we got one that's out of place, or one that's in place, rather. So we can just do cuboid corner drop Ahrix. That's how I basically figured out this bottom layer, or the yellow layer, whatever layer you want to have on the bottom. So the pink needs to go in, and then the green needs to go in. This is actually quite a fun solving experience because it's a new experience completely. Okay, so now we have this one where we have to deal with these three things being out of place. Let's see if I still remember how to do this. I probably do not. In fact, I definitely do not. Okay, so now I do. U prime. There we go. Now we got it. I've been trying to memorize the algorithms for solving the last layer of this for weeks now, and I just never got around to it. Alright, last three puzzles, and probably the trickier ones, Scoob Mixups. So the Scoob Mixup 1 is where we're starting. This one is, of course, very easy. I can do this one in about 2 minutes, if I'm lucky. And I am basically rushing this video. So, trying to get this at least filmed as quickly as possible, and then I can basically edit it. So when I'm working with one of these puzzles like this, and same deal with the maple leaf cube, I like to start with the white side first, and then I move on to the orange side. So I can do that, and then that. I think green is probably going to be solved early. There we go. Now I move on to blue, so green will not be solved early. I wish I could zoom out this camera a little bit more. The camera is way too close. Okay, so after blue, I move on to red. And then that's red done. And then I move on to green, and in this case, doing green will allow you to solve the yellow at the same time. Green is done, and then yellow is done. That's the Scoob Mixup 1 finished. Scoob Mixup 2, on the other hand, is a little bit more complicated because you have to actually like pair everything up. So this one is going to take me a little bit, or maybe even a lot longer than the Mixup one. I do apologize for the snuffliness in my voice. I should use my book stand again. This is too close. Okay, so this goes in there, and then I can do this. Yeah, these Scoob Mixups are definitely probably some of the more fun hyper puzzles I have in my collection. Really, that could be said for any new puzzle I get, because I tend to gravitate towards those new puzzles a lot, just because like they're completely new experiences for me, or just old experiences that I relearned. And so I got one last of these. So I can do that and then put that in like that. Or do this rather. Now the white side is now solved. Alright, so blue, or no, orange next. And then the green side is finished. So now we're just moving on to the yellow side. And this is where things start to get maybe a little bit trickier. So I need to do this, and then I need to do this, and then I need to flip this center. And then I can go ahead and start solving like that. You can put that one in. Alright, and then this one goes in here. Oh, come on now. Goes like that, and goes like this, because we're not quite done with that yet. Oh, that was the same state. Oops. Alright, and now I can do this. I need to walk those here in a minute. And then last edge goes in just like that. And now the entire cube is solved. Alright, give me just a second. Now we're moving on to the last puzzle that I have, the Mix-Up 3. So this one I am going to have to be very careful with, and this is going to be by far the longest solve. So I'm going to go ahead and record the solve, and then when I'm editing this video, I'm going to cut out the process of me doing all of the steps. So, except for this one, because this is the easiest step. So basically, I'm trying to make this as quick as possible. So now we're moving on to the white center. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a bar, then cut that. Then I'm gonna be moving on to orange, make a bar, and cut the solve. If you understand what I'm trying to say, good. Because I almost don't. Alright. Bar is done. I'll see you when this whole center is complete. Alright, now the white center is done. Let's move on to orange. So we're just making an orange bar now. Currently I am failing at that task. Urgh. Alright, now an orange bar is done. Let's do the rest of the orange now. Oh, look at that. That's kind of lucky. Orange side is done. Blue next. Oh no. Oh no, my gimbal died. Shoot. Well, I will be right back. Well, that's a good sign. Alright. Not even doing it in frame anymore. Blue side is done. Now we're moving on to red. Get all this stuff out of frame. Alright, so now we're moving on to green side. I might as well just go ahead and walk through the entire process here. Just go in here. Okay, and then now, which one is it? It's this one I need. So I need to raise that up so it's sticking up. And then we can do this. Perfect. Move on to yellow. This is where the next half hour is going to come from. I'm hoping that I don't end up fidgeting around too much with this, but I do know it is very possible that I will be. Alright, so this guy goes here, Let's go here. And then it goes there. And then I'm gonna make sure the Y side is solved because I don't really need it to be solved. We got it. Figured it out. Figured out the technique. Now, all we need to do is put them all back in their same spot, or the right spot. And we are done. Whew. That actually didn't take as long as I thought, mainly because I actually remembered to do something that I didn't think to do in the 3 weeks that I've had these so far. But anyway, now let's go ahead and bring these back in frame. These all back in frame. So just a quick disclaimer, this is not what you're going to be seeing in, well, you know what I mean. Anyway. Let's go ahead and move this. And then just anyways, that is it for a walkthrough solve and kind of review-ish of all of these 15 puzzles. I've been recording for about an hour so far. I thought I'd be recording for a little bit longer, but it actually didn't take me as long as I thought to solve the Mixup 3 right here. That's about an hour's worth of footage that I'm going to have to sift through and edit. With all of these puzzles, I'm definitely super happy with them. This one was a little bit easier than I thought now that I've actually figured out what I'm supposed to do. So, that just now begs the question. Which one do you think looks the coolest? Which one would you want to have in your collection if you were keen on collecting puzzles like this? And of course, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. That really would be appreciative. And if you want to see more from me, you can either check out my last video, which I will link in the video description, starting this video. And my next video is going to be a review on 2 speed cubes that I got. So if you saw my latest video, you would have seen that I actually got these. I've already taken them out of the box, but I am going to record my review and a couple solves on these. Stay tuned for that. That is going to be coming out hopefully pretty soon. But I have kind of proven myself to have a pretty wonky schedule. But anyway, I will see you then. So, peace out, guys.